Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're stepping away from the usual chaos coming out of the US. I think this image says exactly what most of us are thinking right now. Honestly, even I'm tired with the bullshit the US media keeps pushing too. So in this video, we're shifting focus to something a little more promising: Canada and Europe. It looks like we're moving toward a serious partnership. And yeah, I'm a bit late on this, but Canada is set to join the ReArm program. That means military alignment with Europe. And from what I can tell, Trump's Golden Dome dream is dead on arrival. And good. This feels like the first real move away from depending on the United States. I've got a few clips lined up that I want to go through with you. But before we get into it, I just want to say thanks to this entire community. I do my best to read every comment, even if it's getting tough to keep up. Some of you have left messages that honestly push me to keep going. Not for myself, but for this little space we've all built together. And if you're new here, hit like and subscribe. It helps push these videos out to more Canadians and allies who are just as fed up as we are. All right, let's get into it.
Today, the Canadian Parliament officially opened with the throne speech, and a lot of great things were discussed. But one that flew under the radar was this: Canada is officially joining ReArm Europe. What is that? Well, a couple of months ago, the European Union said, you know what, we have to look after ourselves. We can't trust the United States anymore. And so they're investing over $1 trillion over the next 5 years in building up their military industry. And because Canada has joined, this means this will lead to a lot of opportunities, both in R&D and weapons manufacturing and that two-way trade. So this is a great thing for us as we build up the Canadian Army, Navy, and Air Force. And what does this mean for the United States? Well, they're probably hoping that Canada and European partners will buy a lot of weaponry from them. But hey, if you're going to invest $1 trillion in your own industry, you better believe you're not going shopping elsewhere. Sorry, United States.
Yep, sorry, United States. We're done spending money where we're not respected. It's time to invest in partnerships with countries that actually value each other. This is what happens when you isolate yourself. You slap tariffs on your allies. You burn bridges with Canada and the EU, and quite frankly, the entire world. And now, the rest of the world is done waiting. We're not begging Donald for a seat at the table. We're building our own. Canada is moving forward. And today, we take a closer look at what that really means. Let's hear what our own Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has to say about this new partnership.
Arrangements, is that to sort of augment the ones that exist with the United States or to reduce the reliance there? Is it a hedge or a replacement?
Well, it's both. Diversification depends. Look, and I say it's both. I'm not trying to avoid the question or be clever. The point is, we need to do much more to secure our borders, to secure our Arctic, to secure Canada. So we're going to need to spend more. We recognize that. Now we're going to do it in a way that is in the best interests of Canada, with partners on which we can rely, get best value for money, but also make more of that investment here in Canada, so we're growing jobs and livelihoods in our own country. You know this. Some may not have followed as closely. We're spending over 75 cents on every dollar of capital spend for defense goes to the United States. Right. That's not smart. What's better if we spend more at home, if we have diversified partnerships? Look, part of what's been happening in the last few months since I became Prime Minister is a number of conversations of increasing specificity with our major European partners so that we become defense partners with them, that we become part of a very big build-out of their defense industrial base, which will have big benefits for jobs here in Canada.
This new partnership is doing more than just shaking hands. It's a big step in cutting down our reliance on the US, trimming what we're paying them, and most importantly, creating new jobs right here at home. Honestly, I'm glad to see Canada moving in this direction. Europe might be an ocean away, but right now, it's never felt closer.
As U.S. President Donald Trump threatens Canada's sovereignty, the federal government is turning to Europe to find new trading partners. CTV's Judy Trin on how Canadian companies could benefit from defense contracts overseas.
At the country's largest defense trade show, Donald Trump's threats of annexation are making it challenging for American companies to sell their products. Canada, which initially planned to buy all of its next-generation fighter jets from Lockheed Martin, is now reviewing the contract.
We are supporting the review that's ongoing right now. and that will move to the government for final decisions.
While 16 jets from Lockheed Martin have been ordered, 72 other jets could be purchased from Swedish company Saab. The runner-up is suddenly back in contention.
We've worked with the Canadian government.
Saab's pitch for the jets and other weapons it wants to sell to Canada is that it will partner with Canadian companies to make military equipment here.
We would really build up a presence here and look to engage in a manufacturing capability, which is what we proposed under the previous fighter program, and is certainly what we'll propose under an airborne early warning program through partnerships with companies like Bombardier.
New partnerships mean new jobs. New jobs mean a stronger economy. And a stronger economy means we don't have to rely on the United States. It's simple economics. This is a step in the right direction. Because let's be real, the alternative is what? Begging Donald Trump for a deal? Yeah, that.
To reduce reliance on the U.S., Canada announced it would join the ReArm Europe program, a $1 trillion manufacturing initiative.
If this is about the rearmament and reindustrialization of European companies and on their continent, that isn't necessarily good for Canada and our market. We need to be more productive. We need to see growth in the Canadian economy.
To reach the NATO 2% spending target by 2030, the government has to approve major projects like fighter jets and submarines. That involves getting rid of red tape.
Our commitment as a government is we want to make sure that we streamline procurement process in Canada. We make it more agile, more flexible.
Regardless of who Canada buys from, the Americans, the Europeans, or homegrown manufacturers, Canada at this point does not have enough soldiers to operate the equipment. The Canadian Forces is still in need of 15,000 recruits to be at full force.
Whether it's equipment, spending, troops, or defense systems, it's time we start moving in a direction that doesn't revolve around the United States. Yeah, I know some reports still mention working with the US, and maybe some overlap is unavoidable. But I honestly hope we keep looking beyond toward regions we haven't seriously considered before. Because who knows, one of those countries might turn out to be a stronger ally than we ever expected. What I do know is this. The neighbor down south? They're not our ally anymore. Not in any real way. If you found this video useful, hit like and subscribe. It helps get our message out to more Canadians and to allies who are just as fed up. To wrap things up, I want to leave you with a short clip that really captures the spirit of this new partnership Canada is stepping into. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Canada just told Donald Trump no deal. We're sending our money to Europe instead, in a huge embarrassment to Donald Trump. Now, as you know, Trump has been pressuring Canada to become the 51st state and even offered them the chance to invest in his Golden Dome. But Prime Minister Mark Carney told Trump, have a taco because we're going to Europe instead, and says he intends to join the ReArm Europe program, which means all the money that Canada was investing in the United States is now going to Europe. In fact, Mark Carney said this, quote, 75 cents of every Canadian dollar of capital spending for defense goes to the United States. That's not smart, unquote. 75 cents of every dollar came into the United States. That meant jobs. That meant manufacturing. That was our trade deficit. It's now going to Europe. And this is happening all over the world. Donald Trump is breaking relationships. And while ultimately they may make a deal with him, we may get a trade deal, it comes at a huge cost, but at least we'll have tacos.